Hey guys, welcome to the Traditional Bow Hunting Wilderness Podcast. This is Jason Samkoviak. Heading out. This is my second from my last day of hunting here that I'm going to be able to have in Michigan in December, because I'll be gone pretty soon here. If you guys watch my other videos, you've heard about it. So I'll be going to Georgia, family vacation the last half of December. So it's like the 17th or 18th or something like that. And it, like I said, I got today, and then I got one more chance out here is it. Now I'm hunting close to home today due to the fact that I don't got a lot of time. It's already 3:15, and I wouldn't have had time to make it out to my other spot. So we're going to drop in right here, actually. We're going to go to a spot that I've been to. Haven't been there in about 3 years, but I'm in a real tricky scenario here right now. There was some snow. It melted out. It had froze solid. The ground is froze solid. It's been snowing about 1/4 of an inch today, enough to hide everything. You can't see anything. You can't see any fresh tracks because the ground was frozen. You can't see anything new because there's been a little bit of snow on top of it. Everything is crusted and frozen. And as you can see, if you look out here, barely any like snow that's usable on anything out here. So it's kind of made it a pain in the butt to be able to see what's what. So what I'm doing is I'm going basically on instinct here. I'm going to go to a very thick, swampy bedding area that is all marsh mixed with Christmas tree-sized trees. It's very, very thick. And it's got a couple of funnel fingers that come out of there through a couple of clear cuts. Those clear cuts, I'm hoping, have got kind of like what you're seeing here with some of the browse that could be in there. So I'm hoping to find that mixed with some acorns and these oaks that are still around here too. Given at that, I don't know. I don't know. It's been a very, very tough December. I've been out a total about 4 times now in December, and it's been brutal. I mean, I've only one day I saw a deer. I saw 4 does, and I missed a 6-point that about 22 yards shot right under them. But other than that, that's it. I've been really struggling this December here. And like I said, now I'm going into an area I haven't been in 3 years. So I have no idea what it's like back there, and I'm going to have zero option to understand any of the sign because everything is frozen and covered in or a combination of the two, and it's going to be miserable. So I don't know. I'm just going on my instincts on what I think deer are going to be bedding and where I think they're going to want to travel to for food. So I'm going to get set up. We're going to walk out there. We're going to go find what we have, and I'm going to take you along with me. Okay, bow strung. Mystery Ranch pack set up with my stand on there, all set. As you can see, all the way over there, just shot my first practice arrow, aiming right for that clump right there, and I hit it exactly perfect, that little white spot right there that you can see that I was aiming at with a tuft of white snow that was on that leaf right there, and I hit right there, and so I'm happy. You can see here what I mean. Look at, here's where a deer crossed this little puddle right here. You can't even see it over there. You can't tell anywhere. There's another one that crossed right here, and you just can't tell. You can't identify any of that. We're on a old logging road that they used that they clear cut this way back in here. We're about half mile, almost 3/4 mile back, but they block it off with these blockades like this stuff here. So I mean, they blocked it off way back there. You can't drive 40 yards up here, and you're blocked right by where my truck is. So it's all foot access only. This bedding area is this huge thing over here, and it extends. Now this is swamp here, but then it backs up to those Christmas trees. That's where we want to go, but at least we see a couple of deer coming out of there eventually, so we're at least getting into good sign. There's another deer track, but very, very tough conditions right now with the ground being rock solid hard. This light little snow. There's another deer track. That's good. Another one. So we're seeing some, and who knows, worst case scenario, if I don't find anything good back there, which might be the case, but if I don't, I could maybe even come back up to it, because you can see a swamp there. It's a point right here where those deer are crossed, and you can see this point, that swamp that comes out, and they're running that transition line. I'll bet lines up with those. So that may be a consideration, but we're going to try to go way back up and around back in there another half a mile, where we're going to try and get to here, and see if we can't figure it out back there. But as you can see, I have got that Pintler, Mystery Ranch Pintler pack stand set. We're all ready to go. Got my gloves, and like I said, we're hiking in there to see what we can find. So I'll show you when we get closer and figure out where we want to be at. We got a doe right there in front of me. See her? She's watching me. That's a good sign. That means they're at least out here and they're moving. See her? She's going to move here pretty soon. You'll be able to see her better, but she's standing right in the middle of that road up there, right in front of me. But that is a good sign. Looks like there's two. I see two heads. They're standing out there feeding. That means there's browse out there. And that's a gold mine sign. Look, you'll see them there. They go right there. 1, 2, 3. 3 does right there. That is a fantastic sign. That means that they're coming in here to browse on this stuff. So good sign. Let's see what else we find. Okay, right in front of that clump, these are where these 3 does are standing right here. This is the swamp here. That's those real thick Christmas tree pines. This is the funnel that's going to lead out of there and let them come out here over to this side where we got a bunch more oak in here. And I'm hoping they're pawing for acorns. It's real thick on that side and swampy too. So they could run that edge, but it does curl back in there to another one, so I'm not sure. I'm thinking I want to be right in this corners where I think they're going to come from. And I got a feeling they're going to come out through here. So I'm thinking I want to set up in this funnel where if they have to come through, they're not going to walk through that bog. They're not going to walk through this open. Even those does, I'll bet, popped out right here and came across. I'm going to go down here about another 50 yards, 60 yards, 80 yards, wherever I feel good. Get as close as I can almost to that, but I don't want to cut this off because that wind's blowing that way over there. I don't want to cut anything off that might be bedded on a couple of these little high spots out there. So I'm going to keep an eye out for that, but pick a spot somewhere in this funnel, hoping to catch those deer coming out of bedding back there, working right up to here, because that stuff back there is super thick. And I'll bet that's where those does came from. Better here, see the bog. Then if you look through there, see that tall tree and a couple of those trees, they might be bedding on there. They also might be bedding down at that end like I was talking about. I need to cut them off where they're going to come out of here, out of that bedding, and come towards me, or come out of that bedding down here, up this finger towards me. I want to be somewhere right in this area, right up here where I can take advantage of both of that. Cut them off as they come through this little pinch point to go that way, or whatever they do. So I think we're going to be right in here somewhere. We're going to go take a look. All right, this is the tree we picked right here. This pine right next to this oak. It's got good cover. I'll face out that way, expecting those deer to come from that bedding area there back this way and come right through, and you can see it kind of necks down where we're at right here between this little clear cut and that, and I'm expecting them to travel right through this zone and kind of hugging right on this edge where I am to head out through there. Up down there another 80 yards is where we saw those 3 does. We got a big puddle here, so I'm expecting them to stay on this side. That's going to funnel them over. That stuff's hard to walk through. I'm expecting them to be right here through this strip of woods right here, or right on this edge where they got a couple trails that makes it easier to walk through all this crap that's been cut. Worst case, they might actually follow that little road that's right there that runs by about 20 yards from me. If they want easy walking through here, there are some deer tracks on it, so not sure, but we're gonna get up there and get set. I don't expect that this place has had much pressure. It's a long way in here, so we're gonna get hung up and see what we find here. Okay, I'm all set up. And it's, I want to say it's about 4 o'clock, so I only got about an hour and a half here. But we are all set up in here. And it's exactly what I was expecting to have happen. Not a tremendous amount of deer sign, but again, with the conditions, I expect to not be able to see a tremendous amount of deer sign on the ground. But here's what we got basically. This is that clear cut. I came in from down there and it wraps around, but you can see it gets pretty thin here. If you look too, from that side along that edge, you can see where they come out through here. They cross over right on the other side of there, and they come across, and you can see the trail that runs right here, right along that bog right there, runs right up through there. That comes right through here, and we have all that water here. I don't expect them to be in this spot. I expect them to use this section of high ground to come right out of here, or to be anywhere out in here, right on this edge coming along here. You can see we got a big marsh out here. Huge bedding area out there. This is more of a no-go area, but you can see those lighter green trees back in there. Those are good bedding there too. They could be coming out of there and coming this way, or they could be coming out of there and coming this way, or they could be coming out of here and coming this way. That's my expectations. You can see, look at that real dark trail right there where they broke it through the ice. You can see it there. They broke through. They're coming up out of there. Another one where they're hopping across right there, and then there's another one right by the green tree where they're hopping across. So you can see that there's still some activity. We just saw 3 does in here. 3 does were right back over, way back around that corner, but they were in here. So I'm feeling pretty confident. Wind is blowing out towards that bog, so I'm feeling pretty good. We're gonna see what happens. I'll let you know. We have one deer browsing. See where that tall pine is, and that little pine right there between them. I can't really zoom through that stuff very well with my my phone, but there is a deer, at least one deer, right over there browsing. I can see on my binoculars. I caught movement and looked and seen him. I don't know which way he's gonna go. Hopefully he comes down here through our funnel to me, but we got one deer and we got about 40 minutes worth of daylight left, so hopefully he starts working here. It's snowing pretty good. As you can see, he's making it pretty out here, but hopefully that deer makes his way right over here. All right, it's dark now. We're getting ready to get down. 3 does come by exactly like I thought they would, right up through that funnel. First one came through, they kind of knew something wasn't right, and she stopped here about probably, I'm gonna say 15 yards away. And she turned and was getting ready to kind of walk out of there. She actually snorted once too. And but she took 2 more steps, gave me an opening, and I shot. Pretty sure I hit her. We're gonna go down and see. She acted like I hit her. It was right at last light here, and like I said, with the snow on the ground or a silhouette, it makes it kind of tricky. I stayed up here for another half hour, waiting to see. Those other 2 deer were still out there. I could hear them out there, so that means maybe that one I killed is ended up dying not too far out there. We're gonna find out here. We're gonna see what the deal is. Get down and go take a look. Well, there we go. Look at that right there. Just keep in mind it's 7 degrees. Everything's freezing. Looks to me like might have been a little far back. I'm not quite sure. Seeing some white hair on there with the blood. So I'm not 100% sure, but you can see a blood freezing instantly on there. And we'll take a look and see what we find. Well, I'm hoping that's a good sign right there. Looks like she stopped right here for a minute. It looks like she's bleeding out of both sides. Like she stopped here and sideways, blood coming out of both. I'm guessing, I don't know. Haven't been any farther. We're only about probably 50 yards from the shot site, which is, you can't see it, but it's up there. So we're gonna keep going and see what we find. I went back to the truck. I got down, saw the arrow, went back to the truck, which, remember, we're talking almost a mile hike. Back to the truck, dropped off my tree stand sticks and my bow, grabbed a couple more batteries and in my jet sled, and I'm coming back, and this is what we're finding here. So we're gonna see where it leads. All right, hoping you guys can see me if I'm doing this so I can still see while I'm walking. But all right, so what I did here is I dropped my stand and my sticks off at the truck, and I came back and or at the car, I should say, my little Jeep Renegade, but I dropped that stuff off, grabbed the jet sled, walked back out there, found where she had stopped. She stood there and stopped. I showed you that in the video here. Followed the blood trail for about another 150 yards, 100 yards. Yeah, I'm not, realistically, probably a little less than 100 yards if I think about it. And but it was drops of blood, both sides of where the arrow went, and but good thick drops of blood, but not a lot of sprayed blood. And so I thought, all right, I'm gonna turn the thermal on. As you can see, I'm wearing here, I have my thermal, my LTO, Leopold LTO tracker thermal that I did the review on and told you guys about. Well, I fired that thing up and turned it on, and sure enough, man, right in there, boom, just glowing yellow. I could see a ball glowing yellow right there in front of me. I thought, okay, cool, she's dead right there. I started walking closer. I got to about probably 60 yards away from her, and she popped her head up, and I could see both her eyes in my headlamp. I thought, well, shit. So I turned and backed out of there. I kept using the thermal to look back every 20 yards or so to make sure she hadn't moved, and she stayed right there. And now I'm going back to the car, and I'm going to go home because I'm not too far. I'm only about 4 miles from my house, and I'm going to go back home, eat some dinner. I shot her. It was 5:23 when I shot her. Legal shooting light ends at 5:29 here, so it was right at closing time. And so I'll go back out there about 1 o'clock in the morning. I'll come back out here and go hopefully find her laying right there dead right where she was and get her all taken care of. I'm assuming gut shot, like I said. Real tricky scenario here. When you got snow on the ground and it's getting to last light, getting down to last light, those deer are pure black silhouettes. And then, but the ground is so bright compared to everything else around it. Even with my yellow arrows, when I shoot, sometimes you don't know where you're actually, you lose the arrow. You see it come out of your bow, and then it just disappears, and you can't actually tell. I knew I hit her because I heard it hit her, but I'm assuming I might be a little bit back. I'm not quite sure. Like I said, arrow passed through. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but we will we will find out here. I'll take you back out there when I head back out there and see. So, all right, stay tuned. All right, we're getting ready to head back out there. It's a little after midnight, getting ready to, and I just walked outside to get ready to drive out there, and I noticed we got a little bit of snow that came in. Hopefully, I mean, that's enough snow to hide a blood trail. So hopefully that deer's laying right where I saw her last at. Because this little bit of snow we got kind of definitely sucks. I didn't even realize it was snowing from inside the house while I was working. But we're going to go out there and give her a whirl and see what we can find. Well, there we go. We found her. And that's exactly where she was laying at. And it worked out pretty good because of the fact that it snowed more while we got out before... this shit out of the way here, sorry, but since I got out here, you can tell it snowed more. But there she is, nice doe. The shot, look at that fat coming out of that entry hole, clogging up the blood. That's fat. That's a solid chunk of fat right there. Look at that. It's all fat coming out of blocking that hole. That's the entry hole, quartering away shot. So I did end up being back there. I'm right at the last rib, so I was a little further back, so it was gut shot like I thought. Probably got liver in there as well too, but look at all that frozen solid fat that blocks that blood up on there. But there she is right there. Nice doe, pretty doe. And she is my venison summer sausage deer, so that's what she's going to end up being for me. And worked out real good. You know, like I said, it would have been nice if that hit would have been another 5-6 inches over. Would have done a lot better for me and made me a little happier, but we'll take it. Like I said, she's down. But like I said, it worked out good. Turned out to be a pretty decent hunt. And like I said, I only had one more day to hunt, which would have been tomorrow night. Would have been the end of the season for me. So I'm feeling really good. I'm going to get a tag on this deer. I'm going to go get my jet sled, get her gutted out, and then I'm going to drag her out of here. It's officially about 1:45 in the morning. So I'm going to get her back and get to bed. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye. All right, she is tagged, gutted. Guts are over here. We are ready to roll. Got to just pick up my gloves, put the deer in the sled after I put my jacket on. Pack's there. I don't think you guys can see this, but man, if you could, the star, yeah, I'm looking. I don't think you can. There's so many stars, so many pretty stars out tonight. The moon's, where's the moon at? The moon's right up there, through there. Like I said, I know you can't really see it, but it is, like I said, 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm almost a mile from my car. Out here on some remote, just someplace they clear cut. Actually, like I said, about 3 years ago they did this. They came in and clear cut it, and then they blocked it all off, which I'm glad they did, because nobody can have access back here. That's a big swamp right there, that big hole. Let me see if I can light that up, but that's a big bog, soaking wet water right there. Like I said, just a beautiful beautiful place to be. And there's just something peaceful about being out here. Like I said, it's like 9 degrees in the middle of December in northern Michigan woods, out here all by myself. Like I said, almost 3 o'clock in the morning. Been here before, and it's a pretty cool thing. You can see, if you watch, you'll see a red light from a radio tower. See it right there flash? That's a radio tower about 2 miles away up there, floating through there. You can see it over the top of the trees. But other than that, that's the only sign of civilization I have, is that little thing right there. And now I'm going to load this deer up, get it in there. And this is going to end my season here in northern Michigan. Now in January, they have a late season down south. I do have one tag left, and I think I can buy extra doe tags for down there. They run through from January 1st through the 31st down there on a couple counties. I may make that. I might actually try and get down to Indiana, or I may just focus on hogs now. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do, but this is my third deer in Michigan here. So that's, like I said, and this one here, this is a pretty good size doe. She's a beast. I'll show you some pictures of her tomorrow when I get her back home. I'll take some pictures of her with my bow and, all that stuff. But she's a good size doe. I'm happy. She's going to make a lot of summer sausage for me. And so I'm pretty pumped. I got about, like I said, almost a mile, a little less than a mile drag out to get out of here. I'm going to throw her in the jet sled, and we're going to get ready to roll, and I'm going to call it a night. Look at that. I've had bucks that didn't fill a jet sled that full. Like I said, she's a pretty big doe. She's got that jet sled packed full of pure 100% perfect venison.